to the outstanding Keith Coleman as Johnny Cash and the lovely Ruby Tuesday. Give him a big round of applause.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash. I hear that trailer come rolling round the bend. I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when I'm stuck in Folsom Prison. I could drag it on. That train keeps a rolling all down the side. I was just a baby, my mama told me, John, always be a good boy, don't ever play with guns. I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. That train keeps a rolling, I hang my head over. Fancy dining car, probably drinking coffee, smoking big cigars. I know I had it coming, I know I can be free. That train keeps a rolling, so that's what tortures me. Oh yeah. I'm probably moving on a little farther down the line, far from Folsom Prison. Well, that's where I want to stay. I've let that lonesome whistle blow my blues away. Thank you very much. I'm Johnny Cash. Hey, what a wonderful audience here. Thank you very much. I get to do my favorite thing in the whole world, and that's a tribute to the great Johnny Cash, the only human on the planet Earth, inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Country Music Hall of Fame, Songwriter Hall of Fame, and Folk Music Hall of Fame. All of them, all those halls of fame there was. Johnny Cash got to start down in Memphis, Tennessee, along with Elvis Presley, Jerry Lee Lewis, Roy Orbison, all them rabble-rousers down there. Problem with Memphis, Tennessee is there was nowhere you could play live. You had to go to the Louisiana Hayride if you wanted to play live, and that's the first time that Johnny Cash ever got a chance to see Elvis play live was at the Louisiana Hayride. He was really impressed with Elvis. He was so impressed with Elvis, he wrote a special song just for Elvis. But then he found out that Elvis had sent a love note to his potential future girlfriend, June Carter. He decided he wasn't going to give that song to Elvis. He was going to keep it for himself. It's a good thing he did, too, because he made a whole bunch of money. And the song goes like this right here. I bet you remember it. It goes a little bit like this. Well, get rhythm if you got the blues. Get rhythm if you got the blues. Shoe shine low, never gets down. You got the dirtiest job in town. Bending low at people's feet, the corner of a windy street. Asking when it's shining my shoes, how he kept from getting the blues. Brendan shook his little head off the shoe shine leg, and he said, get rhythm. You got the blues, get rhythm. She gonna try to work my rhythm. If you got I sat down, listened to the shoe shining boy. I thought I was going to jump the joy. Slapped on the shoe, popped nothing right, popped the shoe shine rag and held it tight. He stopped once to wipe the sweat away. You my little boy, to be a wicked like way. Now I like it with a big white grin. Popped the shoe shine rag and he said it again. Get rhythm. You got the blues. Get rhythm. You got the blues. Trouble is to make a piece of fire. Shake all the girls at the red line. Get rhythm. If you got the blues. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Now I want to do for you the song that got Johnny Cash barred from the Grand Ole Opry. There are those out there that say Johnny Cash used to drink a little bit too much. I don't believe that's true either. But the fact is, he had a few to drink the day he showed up at the Ryman Theater with this song in his hand, and he got all carried away. It's a brand new song, and he was singing this song, and he stomped out all the footlights. Seems they can't take a joke at the Ryman Theater. Well, anyway, this song has nothing to do with stomping out footlights, but I guarantee you're going to remember it. It goes a little bit like this right here. Right here. Damn old computers. Well, my daddy left home when I was 3, and he didn't leave much for my ma and me. Just a slow guitar, empty bottle of booze. I don't care that he run and hit, but the meanest thing that he ever did, before he left, he went and named me Sue. I must have thought that was a pretty good joke, and it got a lot of laughs from a lot of folks. Seems I had to fight my whole life through. Some gal would giggle and I'd turn red, some guy'd laugh and I'd bust his head. Things just ain't that easy for a boy named Sue. Well, I grew up quick and I grew up mean. Fist got hard, my wits got keen. Rode from town to hide my shame. But I swore by the moon and stars, I'd search those honky-tonks and bars, and I'd find that mangy weasel that named me Sue. Well, in Gatlinburg in mid-July, I rode into town, my throat was dry. Thought I'd stop and have myself a brew. There on a street of mud, sitting at a table dealing stuff, was that mangy rat that went named me Sue. I knew that snake was my own sweet dad by a old photograph that my ma had, and I recognized the scarlet cheek in his evil eye. He's big and bent and gray and old, and I looked at him, my blood run cold. I said, hey, my name is Sue. How do you do? Now you are gonna die. Well, I hit him once right between the eyes, and he went down, and to my surprise, come up with a knife and he cut off a chunk of my ear. So I busted a chair right across his teeth and went through the wall out into the street, kicking and gouging in the mud and the blood and the beer. Well, I fought tougher men, but I really don't remember when. He kicked like a mule and he bit like a crocodile. I heard him laugh and I heard him cuss. He went for his gun, but I drew mine first, and he stood there in the street and I seen him smile. He said, son, this world is rough. If you're going to make it, you got to be tough. And I knew I wouldn't be around to help you along. So I gave you that name, I said goodbye. I knew you'd have to get tougher as I, and you know it's that name that helps make you strong. Now you just fought one hell of a fight. I know you hate me, and you have the right to kill me now. I wouldn't blame you if you did. But you ought to thank me before I die for the gravel in your gut and the spit in your eye. I'm that mangy weasel that named you Sue. What could I do? What could I do? What could I do? I got all choked up and I threw down my gun. Called him my papa, he called me his son, and I went away with a different point of view. And I think about him every now and then, every time I try, every time I win, and if I ever have a boy, I'm gonna name him Bill or George or Ralph, anything but Sue. That's an awful name. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Well, Johnny Cash was big for Indian rights and all sorts of everybody's rights, to tell you the truth. Anybody that had a problem, come to Johnny and tell him the story. If he liked it, he'd jump on the bandwagon. Yeah, we'll work for that. Anyway, he was real big on Indian rights. But he also loved cowboys there. I want to do you Johnny Cash's favorite cowboy song right now. I really like this. It's probably my favorite song of all time. It goes like this. Old cowboy was riding out one dark and windy day. Stopped for a reach as he rode upon his way. All at once the mighty herd of red-eyed cows he saw riding across the windy sky and up a cloudy draw. Their eyes are still on fire and their hooves are made of steel. Their horns are bright and shiny, their hot breath he could feel. A bolt of fear went through him as he rode up on the sky. Heard the riders coming hard, felt their mortal cry. Give me that devil's herd, but they ain't caught him yet. Forced to ride forever on the range up in the sky. There's a snorting fire. You can hear their mortal cry. As they rode on by, he heard a cowboy call his name. Save your soul from hell, riding on this range, and cowboy, change your ways today. Or with us you will ride, trying to catch the devil's herd across the endless sky. Give me June, I'm glad to see you, but you can't be rushing around like that. You're going to cause yourself an accident.
I have never had an accident in my life.
You have never had an accident in your entire life?
Well, there was that one time that mean old bull threw me over the fence.
And you don't call that an accident?
Well, no, I really think he did it on purpose.
Oh?
You don't have to go to the doctor doctor this morning, John.
You did?
I did.
What was the problem?
He said I need to take this little pink pill every day in the morning and a great big glass of water with it. And every day at noon, I have to take this little pink pill and have another big glass of water with it. And every night before I go to bed, I have to take a green pill and grab a big glass of water with it.
Well, what was the problem?
He said, I'm not drinking enough water.
Oh.
And you know, I had to take that fat old dog to the vet.
You had to take your fat old dog to the bed. And
I did.
What was the problem?
Would you believe that dog swallowed a bullet?
Your dog swallowed a bullet.
He did.
Well, what did the vet say?
He said, well, don't point him at me.
Oh.
All right, John.
I'll tell you what. I don't know if y'all know this, but Bob Dylan was friends with lots of folks, and one of his buds was Bob Dylan, and he actually kind of got Bob Dylan's career kick-started there. Bob was real well known with the folk music community, but he wasn't known outside the folk community. Back in 1970 and 72, Johnny Cash had the #1 television show in the United States, and he said, "I want Bob Dylan on my show." Producer says, "No, we don't want that hippie on the show." He said, "Well, it's my show, and he's going to be on here," and he did. And after that, everybody knew who Bob Dylan was. He actually recorded several of Bob's songs, and him and June had a Grammy on this one, or Bob Dylan song. It goes like this right here. Go away from my window, leave at your own chosen speed. I'm not the one you want, babe. I'm not the one you need. When you say you're looking for someone who's never weak but always strong, to protect you and defend you, whether you are right or wrong. Someone to open each and every door. It ain't me, baby. No, 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 it ain't me, baby. It ain't me you're looking for, baby. Go like me on the ledge, baby. Go like me on the ground. I'm not the one you want, babe. I'll only bring you down. When you say you're looking for someone who will promise never to harm, someone to close his eyes to you, someone to close his heart, someone to die for you and more. It ain't me, babe. No, 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 it ain't me, babe. It ain't me you're looking for, babe. Say you're looking for someone to pick you up each time you fall, to gather flowers constantly and to come each time you call, to love you all your life and nothing more. It ain't me, babe. No, 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 it ain't me, babe. It ain't me you're looking for, babe.
You know, before we do this next song, I got to tell y'all a little story about this song now. First time I ever laid played actors on John here. Well, he was at the Ryman Theater. I was singing there with my mother, Mother Maybelle Carter, my sisters, the Carter family. And John he came backstage after the show. And you know, the Carter family, they were the first people to ever sing gospel music on the radio. And John was a gospel music singer then. And John came backstage and he said, I am a really big fan of the Carter family. He said, and June Carter, he said, I'm a really big fan of yours. He said, I ain't gonna marry you someday. I said, Lord, that's something I sure need in my life.
And what she actually said was, can you read lips?
I didn't see him again for 7 years, y'all. But that night, I did go home and write this song, so I guess he burned a hole in my heart. Those little black opal eyes of his, and I wrote this song, but I didn't dare tell him about it. But my sister Anita heard it, and she recorded it. And John heard it later, and he did not know until after he recorded it that I wrote this song about him. And when I wrote it it kind of went like this. Oh, I fell into a burning ring of fire. Does that ring a bell? Yeah. Yeah. Well, he got hold of it. This is what John did with it.
Love is a burning thing. It makes a fiery ring. Bound by wild desire, I fell into a fire. Oh, I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, down, down. The flame went higher and it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire. Of love is sweet when hearts like ours beat. I fell for you like a child. Oh, but the fire went wild. Oh, I fell into the burning ring of fire. I went down, down, down. Just one of those, do one of those where that we did won the Grammy for the whole album, one of these songs.
That's right, okay.
They're gonna remember this one, I guarantee.
Oh yeah, you're gonna remember this when you have this album.
Well, we got married in a beaver, Ireland, pepper sprout. We've been talking about Jackson ever since so far away. You and I'm going to Jackson.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to fool around. I'm going to Jackson. Look out, Jackson town. What do you say?
Go down to Jackson. Go ahead and let your head
them women's gonna stoop and bow. All them women gonna make me teach them what they don't know how. You and I am going to Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
Turn loose on my coat. I'm going to Jackson. Jackson, oh, yeah. And that's a fact. I'm going to Jackson. Ain't never coming back. You and I am going to Jackson. All your begging and pleading ain't slowing me down this time.
Go right ahead, old, and go to Jackson. Do not call me up and ask me to send you a Greyhound bus ticket to come home again. I'm not sending it this time. Do not call me, I will call you, okay?
You're a hard woman, you.
Thank you.
Well, we couldn't do a show without doing a Carter family song. How about a nice gospel tune? The Carter family made it big, and we sold a lot of records on it ourselves. Goes like this.
One mother, my bell.
I remember when I was a lad, times were hard and times were bad. There's a silver light at each and every cloud. Just poor people, that's all we were, trying to make a living on the flatland dirt. We'd get together in the evening singing loud. Daddy sang me,
Mama sang
me and little brother were joining right in there. Singing, singing, having trouble, so one of these days that it won't be long, I'm gonna join them in a song. I'll join that family circle at the throne. Well, the circle won't be broken. Riding my Lord, riding high. It doesn't sing me.
Mama sang tenor.
Me and little brother were joining right in there. In the sky, Lord, in the sky. I remember after work, Mama would call in all of us. You could hear us singing for a country mile. Little brother is done gone on, I'm gonna join him in a song. I'll join that family circle and roll. Daddy sing me.
Mama sang tenor.
Me and little brother join right in there. Singing, singing, having trouble, so one of these days it won't be long, I'm gonna join them in a song. I'll join that family circle and roll. Well, the circle won't be broken. By and by, Lord, by. Daddy sang me.
Mama sang tenor.
Me and little brother join right in there. In the sky, Lord, in the sky. In the sky, Lord, in the sky.
Oh, you guys are so sweet. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I feel a joke coming on. Preacher was preaching the other day. He asked that age-old question. If there's anyone in this room here tonight that's perfect, stand up now. One guy stood up at the back of the room. Preacher said, man, you think you're perfect? He said, no, I was standing up for my wife's ex-husband. He couldn't be here. Get a little too close to home, huh? There's a city slicker from Memphis. He was driving around the hills up in Tennessee there a little bit too fast. He brought him a brand new Mercedes. He's going to see how fast he go around in curves, you know. He went around this one particular curve. There was a rooster in the middle of the road. He smushed that rooster flat. Killed his rooster. He stopped his car, looked up, there was a house up on the hill, so he walked up the hill and knocked on the door. Farmer came to the door, he said, "Sir, I want to apologize to you. I was out there trying out my new car. I know I shouldn't have been going that fast, but I came around the curve at the bottom of your hill. I ran over your rooster. Sir, to make a long story short, I have smushed your rooster." Smushed, is that a word? I think it is. "I have killed your rooster, but I want to do the right thing. I want to replace that rooster." He said, "Okay, go out in the hen house, introduce yourself to the hens." Oh! Everyone for you. I'm gonna take out walking, just you wait and see.
I'll get your baby without me.
Well, you big mama woman,
You long-legged guitar picking man.
well, we can work this out. Well, I stole a whole diamond trying to get you to shut your mouth.
Yeah, well, how am I gonna wear it? I gotta hide it out.
Well, you big mama woman,
You long-legged guitar picking man.
well, we can work this out.
Oh, I think we can.
Hey, pick again.
All right, pick it, John.
Well, I bought a first class ticket on a luxury liner cruise.
Yeah, but I got out in the ocean, looked around and there was you.
There's a big mountain.
Long-legged guitar picking man.
Well, we can work this out.
I think we can.
I bought you a big long limousine. Said you didn't want no car.
I gave you my love and everything, and you're still what you are.
Well, you big mountain woman.
You long-legged guitar picking man.
Well, we can work this out.
I think we can.
I think we'd work it out a lot quicker if you just behaved, June.
I think you are the one that needs to behave, John. A whole lot better than you did.
I don't believe you're paying attention, June. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Well, there was a new preacher in town, and he looked just like Conway Twitty. Remember Conway Twitty? Yes. Well, this preacher was going from house to house, knocking on the doors, and the first house he came to, a little old lady came to the door. He said, as soon as she opened the door and saw him, she said, "Conway Twitty." He said, "No, ma'am, I'm just the new preacher in town, but I want to invite you to come to church this Sunday." Next house he went to, the little old lady came to the door. As soon as she saw him, "Conway Twitty." "No, ma'am, I'm just a new preacher in town, but I want you to come to Sunday school." She said, "Well, I sure will be there." The third house he went to, it happened to be the new school teacher that just moved to town. Beautiful blonde-headed woman that just so happened was in the shower when he knocked on the door. She threw a towel around herself and ran to the door. As soon as she opened the door, she saw him. She got so excited, she dropped her towel. I said, "Conway Twitty." He said, "Hello, darling." If I were a carpenter, you were a lady, would you marry me anyway? Would you have my baby?
You were a carpenter, I was a lady. I'd never need anyway. I'd have your baby.
Work my hands in wood, would you still love me?
Yes, I would. I couldn't done above you.
Save my love through loneliness, save my love
and dragging her wagon, she gets it snipped, stitched, or switched. And I think she might be here tonight. So I'm gonna go look, okay? Bye, y'all.
There goes you. Well, I told you Johnny Cash was in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. When he got started in 1953, Johnny Cash was a rock and roller. That's what he was considered. That's the classification they put him in, along with Conway Twitty, Jerry Lee Lewis, Elvis, and all them old rock and rollers. Problem with rock and roll back then, you know, there was only one kind of rock and roll. There wasn't 45 different brands of rock and roll like there is nowadays. I'm gonna do you a rock and roll song from 1955, one of Johnny's first rock and roll songs. They got so many classifications, if it was put out nowadays, it would be considered a heavy metal funk acid song. And it goes like this here. Dream on, kid. There's a story in our town about the prettiest girl around. Hair of gold and eyes of blue, how those eyes would flash at you. Boys hung round her by the score, but she loved the boy next door, who worked at the candy store. She was tops and all they said, and never once went to her head. She had everything it seemed, everything that teenage queen. All the world was at her door. Saw the boy next door, who worked at the candy store. He would marry her next spring, saved his money, bought a ring. Then one day a talent scout came to town to take her out. Hollywood couldn't offer more, so she left the boy next door, who worked at the candy store. Pretty soon she was a star, swimming pool and fancy car. Swimming pool and fence around, but she missed her old town. All the world was at her door, all except the boy next door, who worked at the candy store. And one day our teenage star, she sold her house and sold a car, gave up all her wealth and fame, left it all and caught a train. Do I have to tell you more? She went back to the boy next door, who worked at the candy store. Heavy metal rock song there for you from 1955. I'm sure that upset the parents just like it does nowadays. Is anybody here old enough to remember Chris Christopherson? Several people remember old Chris. You know, Chris, he's a fine songwriter, but things weren't going so fine for Chris in 1968. He was working as a janitor in a recording studio that Johnny Cash was recording in. Things weren't going so good. He kept trying to sneak cassette tapes to Johnny Cash. The owner of the studio called him and said, "I catch you doing that again, I'm going to fire you." So he started sneaking them to June. Well, either June wasn't giving them to Johnny or Johnny wasn't listening to him, because nothing was happening for Chris. Chris was also a member of the Air National Guard. Him and Johnny had a lot in common, and they liked to drink a little bit too much in the afternoon. One particular afternoon, Chris had a little too much to drink. He borrowed a helicopter from the Air National Guard and flew it over to Johnny's house and landed it in his front yard. Johnny was curious. He walked out to the helicopter, and just as Chris was deciding he was going to get out of the helicopter, he opened the door, fell on his head, rolled 3 times, and came up with a cassette tape. Said, I have your new hit right here. Johnny said, "Boy, I like your style. Come on in the house, let's have a beer. Listen to that tape." They listened to that tape and said, "I can't believe you told my whole life story on one side of one cassette. I'm going to record that song." Good thing he did, because it got Chris out of the janitorial business into the songwriting business and made Johnny a ton of money. And it goes like this. Just like this, I guarantee it. Just like that. I woke up Sunday morning with no weed. Oh, my head that didn't hurt. closets, through my clothes and found my cleanest, dirty shirt. I washed my face and combed my hair, stumbled out the door to meet the day. I spoke my mind the night before, all the cigarettes and songs I'd been picking. Stopped beside a park, watched a small kid with a can that he was kicking. I walked on down the lane, caught the Sunday smell of someone frying chicken. And it took me back to something I'd lost somewhere somehow along the way. On a Sunday morning sidewalk, wishing, Lord, that I stole. There's something in Sunday makes the body feel alone. And there's nothing short of dying, I lonesome as the sound, sleeping suicide wall. Sunday morning coming down. In the park I saw a daddy with a laughing little girl he was swinging. I stopped beside a Sunday school, I listened to the choir as they were singing. I walked on down the lane, and somewhere a lonely bell was ringing. And it took me back to something I lost somewhere somehow along the way. On a Sunday morning sidewalk, wishing, Lord, that I was stoned. There's something in a Sunday makes somebody feel alone. And there's nothing short of dying, I'm as lonesome as the sound of a sleeping suicide door. Sunday morning coming down. Thank you. Isn't that a special song? Yeah. Yeah. I told you Johnny Cash had the #1 TV show in 1970. He's going to sing that song on it. The producers come to him and say, oh, you can't do that song. You got to change. You can't say stoned on television. You can't do that. In 1970s, well, okay. But he sang it. When he sang it, he did put the word stoned in it. It was a show, you know, what can he do? He did it. Speaking of his television show, he had everybody, anybody that was anybody, want to be on the Johnny Cash. Well, one of the people that was on there more than almost anybody else was the one and only Dolly Parton, and we happen to have her here with us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to make welcome to the stage the one and only Dolly Parton!
Oh, he said,
to the kitchen.
My favorite cup baby, long and stretch, got the moonlight. Then I just finish having the buzz for running. Down the street, the traffic starts running. Looks like me on the job on 9 to 5. Working 9 to 5, what a great family.
Get to
Come on, thinking it's just
use your mind.
but no matter how you know it, things you like, you put in your mind. Not to buy, ooh, but service and devotion. Girls, I think we all deserve a big promotion. You want to move ahead, but the boss won't see you living. I swear sometimes that they just oh yeah. Just watching shadow, just a step before me. To my dream, you never take away. Wait, say go with the line, good friend, wait for the day. Ship will come in, I'm gonna turn, it'll all roll your way. Working 9 to 5, what a great way to live. Early, getting by, oh, little shower. You're so well, I never give you credit. It's enough to drive you crazy if you let it. No mind how you doing, Nanny. I am just wonderful. Are you doing wonderful? Yeah, no matter what you call it. Spend your life putting money in your life. And you're not to find who loves the service and devotion. Keep on taking it off you. Hey, just use your mind. Well, no matter what you call it. And spend your life putting it in life. Hi, y'all. Thank you so much. I'm trying to back over now. All our concerts.
Whoa, darling. Well, Johnny Cash, as soon as he could, he got out of Arkansas because he hated to pick cotton. When he was raised, that's what he had to do after school, before school. And anyway, he joined the military as soon as he could. They sent him to Germany, bought his first guitar for $5 over there. Came back to Memphis, going to be a big star, but ended up getting a job as a door-to-door vacuum cleaner salesman. Woo, he hated that job. Heard they were making a lot of money in Detroit, so he went up there. Got a job on an assembly line. He hated that worse than selling vacuum cleaners. Came back to Memphis, met Sam Phillips, and started writing songs, and everything worked out for him. But you know, that trip up to Detroit was not a total waste. He got some material for a great song, and I want to play it for you. It goes like this right here. Well, I left Kentucky back in '49. I went to Detroit working on the assembly line. First chair spent putting wheels on Cadillac. Every day I'd watch them beauties roll by, and sometimes I'd have my head and cry, 'cause I always wanted me one that was long and black. Well, I devised myself a plan. It'd be the infamous man. I'd sneak it out in lunchbox in my hand. Now getting caught meant getting fired. I figured I'd have it all by the time I retired. I had me a car worth at least $100 grand. You know why I'd get it? I'd get it one piece at a time. Would cost me a dime. You know it's me when I go through your town. I'm gonna ride around in style. I'm gonna drive everybody wild. I'll have the only one that is around. Now the first day, when I checked in with my big lunchbox and help from my friends, I left that day with a lunchbox full of gears. I never considered myself a thief, but Jim wouldn't miss just one little piece, especially if I strode it out over several years. Next day I got me a big fuel pump, then I got an engine and a trunk, then I got a transmission and all the trunk. The little stuff I got in my big lunchbox, like nuts and bolts and all four shocks. The big stuff was snuck out in my buddy's mobile phone. Up to now, everything was all right till we tried to put it together one night. Then we realized something was definitely wrong. Cause the motor was a 53 and the transmission was a 63, and when we put the bolts in, all the holes is gone. Well, we drilled out the holes so the bolts would fit, and with a little bit of help from my adapter kit, we had that motor running just like a song. Oh, the headlights, they were quite a sight. We had 3 on the front and 2 on the left. When we pulled the switch out, all 5 of them come on. The rear end looked a little funny too when we put it together and when we was through, because I swear, it only had one great big tail fan. About then, my wife come out. I could see in her eyes that she had her doubts, but she hollered back and said, "Y'all take me for a spin." Well, we headed uptown to get the tags, and I drove straight up that big main drag. You could hear them laughing at me for miles around. But at the courthouse, they didn't laugh, because to write it up, it took a whole staff. When they was through the title, waiting for them pounds. You know how we got it? I got it one piece at a time. Wouldn't cost me a dime. You know it's me when I go through your town. I'm gonna ride around in style, drive everybody wild. I am the only one there is around. Wait a sec, I'm getting a call on my CB. Come back, good buddy. What's that, Red Rider? Is that you? Yeah, this is the Psycho Billy Cadillac coming back at you, good buddy. What's that? The cost of this automobile? Why, you might just say I drove up to the factory and picked it up. They're cheaper that way. What did you say? The year of this car? Funny you should ask. It's a, let me see. 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61 automobile. It's 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 71, 2006 automobile. Thank you, music lovers. Well, I tell you, I'm gonna do something a little bit different for you guys. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Johnny Cash and Elvis had a kind of a friendly rivalry they used to do all the time. And what the deal was is Elvis started doing an impression of Johnny Cash in his show, so Johnny started doing one of Elvis. Now you can go home and pull that up on YouTube right now. Just as soon as you get home and watch that, you're gonna get a big kick out of it. I promise. Both of them. I'm gonna do Johnny Cash's part of it. And he did it kind of like this. I'm going to take a little bit of a costume change if you'll bear with it. Are you ready?
Nice.
Is this thing on? Yeah. It is. All right, here we go. Well, since my baby left me, I found a new place to dwell. Well, I take it in the lonely street at heart. I've been so lonely. Well, I was lonely. Keep blowing, the desk clerk's dressed in black. I've been so long on this street. Well, I'm never coming back, baby. I've been so lonely. I've been so lonely. I've been so lonely. I can die. Look here, baby. Thank you very much. Let's go over there. All right, you can sit down. I'm not going to... You got a tale to tell. Take a while me to Heartbreak Hotel. I'm so lonely. I'm so lonely. I'm so lonely. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, back in 1961, Johnny Cash got a call from his agent, and his agent said, I don't know if you heard this, but Patsy Cline's been in a bad car wreck. Yeah, she's been in a bad car wreck, and she's got a hit climbing the charts. Would you mind if she joins you on tour because her band's broke up? Johnny Cash said, sure, send her on out, man, and make a lot of money. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to reproduce a little bit of that tour. Make welcome to the stage the one and only Patsy Cline!
How y'all do? Deep within my heart lies a melody, a song of hope, sound of home, where you dream lightning with a memory beneath us are all alone. It was there I found the sound of hello in China too, and the love was in that moonlit past. I only know my hero, and Joe, moving on your splendor, not only to my heart, bring back my road of time. Lips so sweet and tender, like petals on a palm. Speak once again, another line, love my heart. Song words like you, still clear my feelings, Lord. In that moonlit past, I love you, my hero, my road of San John. Moving on your splendor, not only to my heart, bring back my rose of San. Lips so sweet and tender, like petals on a heart. Speak once again, not mine, love my own. Rose, song of hero, words like you, still lingering all alone. In that moonlit past, I love and oh, my hero, my rose of San John. My hero, my rose of San John. My hero, my rose of San John. Y'all remember that song? Thank you so much. Well, when I joined Johnny's band, this was the song that would climb the chart. And I got to tell you a little quick story about this song. Patsy Cline. Do we have any Patsy Cline fans in the house? Good. Patsy Cline was in a really bad automobile accident 3 years before we lost her in that plane crash. And Patsy was laying up in the hospital, and she had this song climbing the charts. And she heard this sweet little boy singing this song as a tribute to her. And she said, "Who is that girl?" They said, that's a new little girl in town, and her name is Loretta Lynn. Yeah. She said, "I want to meet that girl." Well, they brought Loretta Lynn to Patsy's bedside, and they were the closest of friends from then on. And this was the song. I think y'all gonna remember it. I fall to pieces each time I see you again. I fall to pieces. Each time someone speaks your name, I fall to pieces. I'm on my way out to the end. He won't be to find someone new to love, someone who loves me too. The way you used to. But each time I love with someone new, you are right, and I fall to pieces. Yes, you are right, and I fall to pieces. Y'all remember that one? Thank you so much. What's your favorite song, Happy Times? I'm crazy, crazy for being so lonely. I'm crazy, crazy for being so true. You know me as long as you wanted, and then someday, oh, or somebody why do I let myself worry? In the world did I do? I'm crazy for thinking that my love could hold you. I'm crazy for crying, crazy for crying, and I'm crazy for loving you. Crazy for that my love could hold you. I'm crazy for crying, crazy for trying, and I'm crazy for
That's right.
Thank you so much.
Hey, Johnny, happy man. We got one more, and then we couldn't do a Johnny Cash show without this song right here. This is a hum along. I want to hear you out there humming. Back in the back, you're not humming. Those watch on the start of the month. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the end out for the tide that binds, because you're mine. I walk the line. I find it very, very easy to be true. I find myself alone when each day's through. You know I need because you're mine. I won't lie. Oh, oh, oh. How do we keep me on your side? You give me cause for love that I can't hide. Or you know I'd even turn the tide because you're mine. I won't lie. Your last chance to hum.
Oh, now here it comes.
A close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the end out for the tide that binds because you're mine. I won't lie. Hey, we hope y'all enjoyed a little Johnny Cash music today. You've been a wonderful audience. We appreciate y'all, every single one of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys of all the places, a million places in the world you can be on this beautiful day you chose to be with us. Thank you so much.
We're going to be over there if you want to get a picture or a handshake or anything. We got a CD over there. Like a 2-album CD. You can't miss out with this thing. Trust me on this. On sale for $10 tonight. Practically give it this deal.
Come on, let's give him a big round of applause. Keith Coleman, the lovely Ruby Tuesday. Come on. Thank you. Thank you. We love you. Thank you. How about we have Ruby Tuesday back for Patsy Cline tribute? Yeah.